Maybe they're just typing funny things in the chat that I unfortunately can't read nor see. But as you can see, the next game will be on Andromeda. Alright, going into game number 3. Score is tied 1-1, and in the bottom right, as the Yellow Terran once again, we do have Sok. There he is. Man, for a second I thought he like no longer had gum, but he was still chewing. It's like as a reflex. That was weird. Anyway, cross positions on Andromeda. Andromeda, super duper macro map, so could be in for a long game here. Last two games were actually relatively quick and easy. I mean, neither of them even got to Hive Tech, so this will be interesting. Last game in particular seemed to work quite well for Hero to just kind of, you know, delay the tech a little bit, get a giant Lurko-Ling army, and just smash the Terran in the mid game. See if he goes for a similar plan here. It might be a little bit more difficult because, of course, on Andromeda you basically have a protected mineral only in your base. And this might be a wall in here, yeah. So you can do a completely link-type wall at your natural. I don't know why he's not clicking on it. It's obviously a supply depot. You can just tell from the building size. But anyway, so it's going to be a normal wall there. And that means the Terran's going to have access to 3 easy bases here. And of course, the mineral only has 5 patches, and you can kind of harass it from the outside. But still, it's very, very good for the Terran. So yeah, like I don't like Sok is not necessarily going to be as maybe aggressive as he was in the past couple games, moving out with those Medic Marine. One thing that wall-offs often do mean, though, is Terran's trying something tricky, like going for fast tech or something like that. In this case, I don't know if he's necessarily doing that. I think it's probably more likely he'll just expand behind the safety of the wall. But we'll see. And it looks like, is that going to be a scouting SCV? Or no, he's just going to finish off the wall off. Okay, cool. And there's a 12 hatch from Hero. No reason not to 12 hatch on Andromeda again. Super duper macro map. Although, oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. What? Not 12 hatch. Whoa, what am I talking about? Went pull first. But anyway, there's actually now that I think about it, he should. I don't know why he didn't actually 12 hatch there. Went for the pull first because Andromeda, as I said, it's a super duper macro map, right? The only slight risk is that because you can make a full wall off at your natural. You can, like, that sometimes can encourage Terrans to do some kind of like proxy barracks cheese, and then if it doesn't work, you just fall back to the wall. But I don't know. I assume that was an overpull again from Hero. I wasn't actually paying attention. But not a huge fan of that. Not a huge fan of that. TBT. And we can see Hero's going to place his 3rd hatchery at the mineral only here in his main base. Because he's going to place it anyway as a macro hatchery, might as well obviously just throw it down there at the minerals. So the Ling's going to come over here, but again, you know, not going to be able to do anything. It's a link-type wall. So I don't really see the point of those Lings. And it's not even like it's a hard wall to make. It's like the most obvious easy wall. And we do see a gas behind as well. Is this going to be engineering bay? Is he fast plus 1-ing, or is he going to go academy like last game? No, this time he's playing a little bit more normally, I suppose, and is getting that fast plus 1. I still don't quite understand what he was doing last game, going rack CC and then gas academy before 2nd barracks. It's a little bit weird. The 2 main variations nowadays are either you go for the 2 barracks before your gas, and then you go gas academy and just kind of get marines and medics and all that good jazz and a slower upgrade, and that's a little bit of an older style, I suppose. The fast plus 1 5 racks is more recent, although, you know, recent in Brood War terms is still probably, you know, maybe more than a year old. I'm actually not sure when that first popped up, but yeah, nowadays you'll see a lot of, you know, 1 racks, command center, then gas and engineering base straight away for fast plus 1, and then as we saw, Sako in game number 1 adding on 3 or 4 more barracks. So, anyway, we have the lair on the way now for Mr. Sok. Or sorry, for Mr. Hero. Whoops. And an extra barracks for Sok. I assume there'll be at least 4 barracks here, 4 or 5 barracks. And we can see Sok also clearing out these power generators. I think that's what they are, power generators at the back. They're just kind of blocking off a little high ground area on the side of the natural. It can get annoying if you get dropped there later on and you haven't broken down the supply, the power generators, but if you break those down, then it's not really an issue. So, looks like nothing too crazy going on just yet. Both players just macroing up. Ooh, that's a very fast engineering bay, though. Sorry, evolution chamber. Wow, I'm just completely getting my races and buildings mixed up this game for some reason. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be a 5 rack, so there's 4 barracks there, plus the one on the wall. And I'm really curious about the engineer. Sorry, goddamn, the evolution chamber. Is that just going to be for fast plus fast carapace? Is he going crazy Zerg? So crazy Zerg, if you don't know what that is basically Mutaling straight into Hive and Ultralisks. See, the normal progression of ZVT is you go 3-hatch Muta, you harass with the Mutas while getting Lurker Tech and getting a 3rd base. When the Lurker Tech finishes, you defend with the Lurkers. Usually by that time the Mutas aren't very effective anymore, so you defend with the Lurkers while going up to Hive and Defilers. Then you get Defilers out and you can play like Lurkerling Defiler. Crazy Zerg skips the Lurker Tech entirely. You go just Mutaling and get really fast upgrades for your Ultras, your eventual Ultras and your Zerglings, and you go straight to Ultras and you get super fast upgrades. So you don't have any Defilers, you don't have any Lurkers, but you have really well upgraded Ultra Ling, and because Ultras get that extra +2 bonus upgrade, they're like super hard for just the pure Marines to kill. And that, I mean, that's the only reason I can think of that to get such a fast evolution chamber, because in the normal timing it would be you get the Hydra Den and the evolution chamber about the same time when you're starting to go for Lurkers. And the fact that he's gotten another hatchery also, I think, sort of confirms this. So that probably means he wants the extra larva to get a lot of Zerglings, of course. And I think this is really smart because he's got the extra minerals from that mineral only. So he's going to invest that in an extra hatchery, get a lot of extra Lings to go with his Mutas, and then go straight for the Hive. Go straight for the Hive. I really hope my analysis is somewhat in the ballpark. If he just like goes something completely different, I'm gonna feel so dumb. But I'm gonna stick by my prediction here. Gonna try and be a baller. It's gonna go very badly. Oh man, watch him just go like Hydra Lurker instead. I'm like completely wrong. It's like, oh god, so embarrassed. But no, it's still looking good for me. It's looking good for me. He's getting a bunch of Sunkens because of course Mutaling is not a very sturdy composition as we've seen. Head on against Medic Marine, you really need to have a good number of them and get a good surround with the Lings, otherwise you're just gonna get torn apart, especially against +1 Marines. So as a fallback, as like a safety, you can see Hero did get the Sunkens. Yes, he's got a second Evo and a Queen's Nest. Yes, all right. Prediction is complete. Well, not yet, but it's almost 100% certain that he's going for Crazy Zerg here. So he's going for the fast double upgrades, of course. Because he's skipping Lurkers, he's saving a lot of gas. Lurkers are very gas heavy. Even the Lurker aspect research is 200 gas by itself. So he's saving a ton of gas to be able to rush out the upgrades, rush out to the Ultralisk, to the Ultra Ling. And this is going to be really interesting because, you know, he's doing some nice harassment with these Mutas, and it's a really long walk from the Terran base to the Zerg base. It's a cross-map position, so, you know, even though the Mutaling aren't that durable, you know, it's still going to take a while for the Marines to even get to the Zerg base. But look at this. Sokka split up his army. Half his army is moving straight towards the Zerg, while the other half is dealing with the Mutas. The Mutas not pull back now, but see, just because of how mobile, how fast the Mutaling is, Hero could easily pull back and defend this if he feels he's in danger. But I think with the 5 Sunkens, he's probably barely okay if he just makes a few Lings there. I don't know if he necessarily needs the Mutas. He's pulling them back anyway. But again, with 5 Sunken colonies there, I think he'll be okay. Generally, the principle is for a Terran to break a Sunken line, you need at least 1 medic per Sunken colony, and then obviously, you know, the appropriate number of Marines. Usually it's like 2-to-1 ratio of Marines to medics, or slightly more than that in the early mid game. Anyway, so yeah, so Sox is kind of holding position outside Hero's Natural, but he can't really break that, and he kind of knows it now. He's trying to slowly bring this second force up to rejoin with the force outside the Natural. And once those two groups are together, then he actually has a chance to break this, a very good chance, in fact, because in fact Hero's really not made many Zerglings at all, it seems, so far. I'm a little bit surprised by this, actually. He's still just relying purely on the Mutalisks, perhaps taking a slight risk here. At the very least, he can make 3%. Oh, okay, there are the Lings. He actually, curiously, doesn't even have Link speed yet, but you can can see, there's this flood of Zerglings, and because he got the 4th hatchery so quickly and it's in his main, he actually has a lot of extra larvae to work with. Normally that 4th hatchery would be at a 3rd base somewhere else, but in this case he just is sticking on his original 3 bases here. And here we go, the Lings are moving in. They still don't have speed. Did speed just finish? I'm not really sure. Man, he lost a lot of Lings there. Did not really get a good arc, a good surface area on those Marines. So a bit wasteful there, but there we go. The Ling speed definitely finished now. He's got a lot of Lings. I wonder what upgrades he actually has. I assume he got Carapace first, so he should probably have at least +1 Carapace on the Lings, which will help counteract the +1 attack on the Medic Marine. But we do see a couple of siege tanks coming out now. These tanks, by the way, will be very crucial in helping to deal with the Ultras. But here we go, a lot more Lings coming in, and this time it looks like Hero does have enough to crush this Marine force. A lot of Marines are flooding across the map to help reinforce. You can see on the mini-map, but they're not going to be in time. This initial group is going to get taken down. It's crucial that Hero can actually catch all of these medics, because you can see the rest of the force doesn't actually have very many medics, but no, it looks like they do rejoin in time. So those medics are kept alive, but Drone has actually snuck out as well. Hero does, of course, want a 3rd gas. Can't really sustain hive-level production without a 3rd gas there, even if you do save all the gas from the Lurkers. But here we go, he's moving in with the Mutaling, trying to snipe these siege tanks. As I said, the siege tanks are actually going to be the main damage dealers to the Ultralisks, because the Ultralisk armor is going to be so high that the Marines actually have a really tough time dealing with them. Looks like a few more Lings running out here, but the siege tanks though can start sieging down the sunken colonies, and there is the Ultralisk cavern. And actually, surprisingly few drones at Hero's Natural, by the way. I would have thought with the quick 4th hatchery, he would have had enough larvae to, you know, squeeze out a few extra drones here. But actually, his economy is not looking so great. Meanwhile, Saki is getting his 3rd base at his safe mineral only in his main base. Oh no, Hero not paying attention, losing some of his Mutaling here, just on hold position. So the Ultralisks are out now, but now he no longer has a flanking force, so he's going to be running headlong into a decent Terran position there with siege tanks all set up and Marines backing them up. So I think he's just going to wait as long as possible, let all the Sunkens die. It doesn't really matter if the Sunkens aren't too important anymore. He just needs to buy enough time to get enough Ultra Ling to get one big wave off and take this down. Now this looks quite bad for the Zerg at this point, and it sort of is, but Ultralisks so early with good upgrades are very, very scary. You cannot underestimate them. So if Hero can get enough here, and here he is, he's going for it. He needs a good number of Lings as well, by the way, because the Ultras are mainly there to tank damage. The Lings are actually going to be the ones doing the damage because with the Adrenal upgrade, but it looks like, man, with some good micro, the Medics also blocking a lot of, you can see Ultralisks bugging out all over the place because the Medics are forming a semi-wall in front of the Marines, and oh man, good control there by Sok, and Hero doesn't even stand a chance. Really nice Medic blocking there by Sok. I don't know if that was partly accidental or not. But either way, all of the Ultralisks fall, and Hero GG's out. Sok taking game number 3. Really interesting idea by Hero. I've seen that actually work a lot of times, both on his stream and in casted games, where he actually makes sick comebacks by rushing for the hive like that. But unfortunately, it was not to be in this case. Sok just a little bit too strong, hitting at the perfect time before the Ultralisks were ready. I'm not sure if he even read that, like, from the beginning. I'm not sure when he even knew that it was actually Crazy Zerg, but he hit that timing spot on.